that this look is on purpose. This shaggy, scraggly look. And the reason being is this. When you focus on the person delivering the information too much, you miss very critical and key pieces of information. When we clean up real nice, people get caught up in how nice we clean up, and then they miss critical pieces of information. So while I was growing my beard out for this video so I can look like a grown-ass man, father with kids or something, instead of like young player out there trying to max money. So that ain't my purpose of this video. The purpose of this video, oh, what's the 3 o'clock flip? Okay, that's straight up on the 45. It's bumping off the left to the center. That's a red lodge flip. So what we got here, Barbara DeAngelis, one of the best advisors from the female viewpoint of relationship experts I ever heard. Juanita Bynum's speech, No More Sheets, was the most passionate plea, what's up, Taz, from a sister to resolve these relationship conflicts so that we can get back to being humans again. What we're not realizing is at the root of the relationship conflict is there's a disconnect. The disconnect is the first disconnect in all relationships under the current condition is we're not living like humans. So they have taught the men to effeminize and the women to boss up or become more masculine. So the woman has no greater drive and desire than to feel like a feminine woman at her core. This is her nature. And the man want to feel like he a fucking man. He don't want to feel like a little punk up in the corner with his tail tucked between his legs on some bitch shit. Yep. So in order for any of these relationships to work, if you watch the ones that work, right, the female is normally feminine and the man is normally masculine. But they have a communication that comes with recognizing the gender difference. The man don't want a man with a vagina unless there's something wrong with him. Nature didn't wire a man to want a man with a vagina. Nature didn't wire a woman to want a woman with a penis. So 90% of our problem come in when the man want his girl to be his homeboy that he has sex with. And the girl want her man to be one of the girls that she has sex with. You have to respect the differences in the gender according to the species you are. You're a fucking human, but you live like a reptile. You've been taught to behave counter to your mammalian self as a primate, to behave like your reptilian mind and become selfish, self-centered, and ego-driven. Now, this gonna ruin every fucking relationship to a degree. You have to become functional at being dysfunctional in order to have a functional relationship in a dysfunctional reality. If you functional and the environment is dysfunctional, you got two options. You either conform to the dysfunctional environment, which is going to come out in the dysfunctional relationship, or you make the environment become more functional for two functioning people. So we seek the balance. We seek the balance because only from a man understanding the feminine aspect of the woman, her divine feminine, will he be able to figure out how to speak her language? Once he know how to speak her language, this Martian knows Venusian now. He speaks the language of those from Venus. So now, once he understands this part, that what her language is emotional. Now, he have to understand how to feel without losing his fucking mind. He can't learn it on his own. First lady up in this piece. Go on, China. China hustle up in here. So, if we want to make this shit work, the first thing that everybody's responsibility to the other gender is learn their fucking language. Learn their language. So, men have to develop an empathic streak where he can feel what she's projecting to him energetically and be able to translate that from Venusian intellectually into Martian. Now we speak in the same language. Daniel, salute, dog. So, here I started off talking about the beard at the beginning of the video. That's a good book, 5 Love Languages. Also, Unified Field Theory, there's other things that's not relationship oriented that can be used to enhance a relationship. For example, the Unified Field Theory, everything is connected. So in order for me to balance her, I gotta first balance me. If she already balanced her and I'm seeking balance, I can read her sufficiently enough to establish my balance. That ain't as easy as it sounds. See, people don't want to do the work. We lazy. That's the ego. We feel that we are entitled for somebody else to do all the goddamn work and then come by and give us all of the toys. It don't work like that. So when we flip these two keys on Mars and Venus in love, we understand that there is a synthesis that must be had. There is a balancing act between the masculine aspect of that man and that feminine aspect of the woman. So she came from Venus. When we came from Mars, we both landed on Earth, her big sister. Now, there are certain rules that go with Earth, and they call Earth rights. Women have the first right to rule under the rights of the Earth right. But the protector and the guardian of the throne of the woman is the man who has mastered his divine masculine, becomes her king. His job is to facilitate her as she hold down the queendom, the hive, the home. Because we all heard the saying that home is where the heart is. But what they'll never tell you is that the heart of the home is the kitchen. And the pride of the kitchen is the woman. This goes back to the lion pride. What's the pride of the lion? They family. They pack. It's a trickle-down effect. So if the man fix himself and the woman fix herself, they become two wholes coming together. But the byproduct of that is what the Bible say, 2 or more come together in my name, there I am also. What's the name? Mot. What's Mot? Universal balance. In the process of finding that universal balance, hey Tabera, in finding that universal balance, we start balancing other things out around us because it requires the mind to work at a higher rate. Now, everybody not going to reach the same level of development because the part of them that develops mentally is directly related to how much work they willing to do. So when you're willing to do the most work, you're going to get the most reward. I'm an all or nothing type motherfucker. If I tell you I'm with you, You don't got to look over your shoulder. I'm there. If I tell you I got your back covered. I don't give a fuck who you is. Friend, family, whoever. Now, in the event that I got to watch your back and the conflict is with somebody else that I have allegiance with, then I have to resolve the matter. I have to exercise the law of balance. How do I balance this situation out to prevent the hostilities? One, you are not bringing that shit to my house, and I'm not bringing it to my house. And anybody bring it to my house get the same level of disrespect that they brought when they brought it there, right? So, John Gray give an excellent breakdown in understanding how we speak these different languages. The irony of the situation is what most people don't know is that these are two of the best relationship experts for men and women. If they not the best in their field, they in the top 3. They in the top 3 each. Now, they was married. The best on relationships was married. They've been divorced for years, but they was married. And they the best at this relationship shit. So what do that mean for Sally that work at Subway and Bobby that work at the tire shop? What did it mean for their relationship? If the two best motherfuckers at the job can't stay together, it got to be something missing, right? So the verse in the Bible talks about being unevenly yoked. Everybody don't match. Everybody don't match. It's like shoes. You're not going to go in the store unless there's something wrong with your feet and get a left 8 and a right 12 and think you finna walk around comfortable. It doesn't match. That's called incongruent in mathematics. So you got to find where, to balance it out, you got to find where in the fuck is this shit congruent already? Where does this match? And when you know all of the things that match, you find out what don't match. And then you have to check yourself before you even say something to the other person. Because what do I look like if I tell her, I want the dishes washed, but I'm not willing to wash dishes in my own house? That's irrational. That's irrational. It's teamwork. And if you understand the team concept, that was a good lesson that GM taught, team concept. That didn't have nothing to do with a relationship, but it applies. Hey, Betty, it applies because the concept of a team. Together, everybody advance more, right? So when you understand teamwork, you can turn that shit around and we can all M-E-A-T, meaning we can eat meat on a level playing field, on teamwork. It takes a village to raise a child. So why are we not finding people that we trust that we can form a village around the children? The reason we're not doing that is because we're in a system that teaches us to strike it out for ourselves and fuck the family. And when you said fuck the family, you fuck the families. So somebody got to put this shit back together. Somebody got to find the balance so they can help the rest of us get the balance. So I didn't see nobody else doing it, so I'm just one of them initiative motherfuckers. Something need to be done. I need to fix it. Let me go fix it. How do I know I need to fix it? Because I broke it. I had to break it in order to understand how it worked. So you break it, put it back together. They call that reverse engineering. But in the mystics, we call it upside down, turn it around, flip it right. So if you did something, you take responsibility for what you did. Stop always fucking pointing the finger. Everything not somebody's fault. Some shit just happened. You walk outside and the branch fall out of a tree because the wind blew it on your car. Don't go upside your wife's head. It's not her fault. She couldn't control the wind blowing that goddamn branch on your car. common sense ain't coming. The things that the guys beat women for are less than the things that they would even raise their voice at a man about. They look at her as that little valve on the pressure cooker. When the temperature start getting high and that motherfucker whistle, it's called a release valve. So instead of working with a partner, he's sleeping with the enemy. Because every time he feel the pressure of life, he go upside her head. But if he let her be the woman, she gonna make an environment that's gonna allow him to breathe and relax. Feng shui up in this motherfucker on some balanced out house shit. Feng shui. Now, the way of the woman was another video I did a while back, because the way of the woman, if a man is trying to be about something, it's irresistible. It's irresistible. This shit is like crack to a crack fiend. You can't not want it. You can't not want that shit. That's some real ass shit. It's addictive. Now, why is that? See, I'm one of them extra motherfuckers, and I like to dig a little deeper than most, right? So I said, where in the fuck is this love shit coming from, and how does it work? And ended up got slapped in the face with the church. That fucked me up. Because I found that when they say that they in love, right, they really telling you they got the Holy Ghost. What the fuck is that shit? They got the Holy Ghost because they in love, yep. The same physiological response that gives a person the Holy Ghost, if you haven't learned balance, is the same chemicals that will give your ass a man on fire effect in your soul. It's called a mitochondrial activation in the man. Now, a woman have to find you a certain level of worthy to turn that shit on, right? You got to prove yourself across so many different layers of verification, because if she turns that shit on and you ain't ready, you will lose your fucking mind. But if you ready, talking about some ascension symptoms, so you see the shift in everything, the paradigm shift come when we learn that if we balance ourselves as a divine masculine or as a divine feminine, and then we can understand, by balancing the self, first of all, to give you the internal understanding of your creative side that they call your feminine side, right? And your masculine side they call your intellectual side. Most men stuck intellectual, they can't get right, right? So they can't think from that right side of the brain. Now, when that woman turned that mitochondria on, you know what she gonna do? Like she threw a grenade, fire in the fucking hole, run and get the fuck away from that nigga. Because if this shit don't go right, he's not gonna be fit for nobody else to be around, and he won't. And that's why I gave y'all that other video and warned y'all about you 9-vote ass nigga fucking with these 250,000 vote ass women about to get a rude awakening. They finna weed out the wheat. They finna weed out the wheat, because when a man take the throne, they gonna turn all that shit on to get rid of the hate. The women gonna turn it on every fucking where a human breathing on this earth. They gonna turn mitochondrial on to get rid of the hate. The big eyes and the little you complexes. When they turn that shit on, if you have not done your self-development work, if you have not been building on your master temple, the temple no man is touched, if you haven't did that shit, you in serious fucking trouble. And that's why it ain't gonna be a whole lot of men left. The ones that's gonna be here not gonna be functional, so we not gonna even be able to have no fucking war. And then you got the ones that's not even human.